If you're watching this channel, chances are you don't really need to know many tips or whatnot about how to be more productive. What you might be lacking though is the keys to staying motivated, and that's what today's video is all about. Hey there, I'm Kelly, I'm a father of 6, I'm a full-time software developer at Rescue Time, and I'm Dean of Digital Campus at Sigma University. On this channel, I like to talk about productivity tips and whatnot to help you and I stay more productive and get more work done in less time so that we can spend more of our life with the people we love doing the things we love. And today I'm talking about motivation and how you can be more motivated so that you can actually get around to doing that work in the first place. That sounded like an infomercial. And now you, for the low price of $9.99 per month for the rest of your life, you can sponsor this channel. Sorry, that was a complete tangent. But before we get to that, I picked up this adorable little teapot the other day, and I want to make some tea. So let's do that and then continue talking about motivation. Okay, timer set. I'll check back on that in a little bit. But before that, let's start talking about motivation. Today, there are really only 2 things I want to talk about when it comes to motivation. Because like all really hard things, it's really simple in idea, just, hard to implement. So first up, I want to talk about the things that drain motivation from you. The things that take away that motivation that is so precious and which prevent you from doing work in the first place. Now, these are things that are unique to each one of us. You're going to need to spend some time and figure out what it is that saps your motivation. Chances are if you just pay attention to this for a week or so, you'll figure it out no problem at all. For me, there's really 3 things that sap away my motivation. The first are my smart devices. You see, if I pick up my phone or my iPad or go on my computer in the first hour or 2 of the day, it just ruins the rest of the day. I get pulled into Instagram, I check my latest YouTube stats. Yes, I'm still addicted to those, even though this is such a small channel. I should stop looking at them. It is so much fun though to see when a new comment comes in or a like or, well, anyway, off topic. The point is, if I pick up my phone and start browsing through it and looking at things first thing in the morning, that instantly pulls away my motivation. I just end up wanting to spend more time on the phone instead of getting to work and doing the things that are most important to me. The second thing is reading. Now, I know everyone says you should read more, spend more time reading, and that is absolutely true. But for me at least, there has to be a time and a place for it. If I pick up a fun, enjoyable novel to read or start looking through a graphic novel early in the morning before I've done any work, chances are I'm going to spend the rest of that day reading the graphic novel. This basically happened to me yesterday. I had a whole bunch I wanted to get done, but I pulled out Dragon Ball Z in the morning, I started reading, and I stopped reading about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Not exactly how I want to spend my day. The final big one for me happens later on, that's during the workday, when I should be focused on some task at work and I get this random idea in my head like, I wonder what's the proper way to make pita bread in a 700-degree pizza oven. Let's look that up right now. Stop. There's no reason to look that up right now. Just note it down. Chances are you won't care about it later. Those are the things that sap away my motivation. Using tech too early in the morning, reading fun stuff too early in the morning, and then just getting distracted and diving into some research quest in the middle of the day. Recently, I figured out that Apple's Downtime feature on the iPhone can apply and extend into the morning time as well. So I've set that actually from 10 p.m. at night to 10 a.m. in the morning to make sure that I can't use most of the apps on my phone until 10 a.m. Oh, tea's done. Let's pour a cup of that. Yes, I'm drinking tea out of an espresso cup. It was a nice pastel blue to match the purple of the teapot. It's an oolong tea today. Kind of new to oolong tea, but pretty good. Back to motivation. You need to do the same thing. You need to sit down and figure out what activities you do that sap away your motivation, that pull you out from getting the work that you want done and just leave you kind of wasted afterwards. Once you find those, find the proper time and place for them. I'm not saying don't do them ever. For me, I just can't do them first thing in the morning, because if I do, I'll continue doing them all day long. So I save them for after lunch or before bed or something like that. But let's talk about the real meat of this video and talk about how you can get more motivated instead of talking about how you can avoid getting less motivated. And here's where I have to let you down. The thing is, there is only one way to get more motivated. And it's by doing the work. I know, it kind of feels like a cheat, doesn't it? Like I let you down. I mean, the whole point is you came here so that you can learn to be more motivated so you can do the work, and now I'm telling you to do the work so you can get more motivated. Let's jump over to the notebook and see what I'm actually talking about here. You see, work and motivation are a cycle. Work leads to motivation leads to work, which in turn leads to motivation again, and the cycle goes on and on, my friends. Like any cycle, if you're trying to break into it, you need to kickstart the process at one point in the cycle. Unfortunately, it's really hard to just get motivated at some place, so that's really not the optimal time to jump into this cycle. Instead, you need to jumpstart it by doing the work in the first place. If you haven't paid attention to this before, or if this concept is new to you, you probably will be astounded when you start to see the results of this in your own life. The reason you are not motivated is because you are not doing the work. It's as simple as that. Do the work, and I promise you, you will get motivated. Now, it's not going to be like, I'm motivated as soon as you did a little bit of the work. You know, do the work, get a little bit more motivated, then do a little bit more work, and the cycle will continue on and on. Now, here's the bad news. Even though this is such a simple thing to understand, do the work, get more motivated, do more work, get more motivated. It is incredibly hard to do. That's the reason you're watching this video. It's hard to do work when you're not motivated, but that's what it comes down to. You have to be disciplined, you have to push through it in that first moment when you're not feeling like doing anything, and the motivation will come. More oolong, because clearly it's helping. It is such a cute teapot. It's adorable. I love how that just, pastel purple goes with this orange room. Like, it's amazing. I wish Apple would make a laptop that's this color. I mean, how cool would MacBook Air that color be? All my coffee friends out there, don't worry, I didn't forget about you. This is an espresso cup. I love coffee still. I just like tea also. Actually, I liked tea before I liked coffee. It's really good. Now, I know I basically said that the really only true way to get more motivation is to do some work in the first place. That's not entirely true. Vision also helps to instill motivation. Unfortunately, it's kind of a degrading process over time. Unfortunately, as humans, we tend to lose vision pretty easily. So don't rely on these things. But if you are really stuck in a rut and really need to get out of it as quickly as possible, maybe just sit down for a moment, think, why are you doing this in the first place? For instance, the violin here, over the past month or two, I've been really struggling with motivation to play the violin on a daily basis, which I talked about in my last video. As such, I haven't been making the progress that I wanted to. And at this point, 6 months in, I'm not quite where I want to be. Now, the best thing to do is to really just push through that, as I said. But oftentimes, if I just sit back for 5 minutes and think to myself and remember why I'm learning the violin in the first place and just reinstill a little bit of that vision, it helps me get a little bit of motivation to do a little bit of the work, which leads to more motivation and therefore more work. More on setting visions, particularly in respect to the violin, at a later date, but for now, I really hope that helped. What are you struggling with when it comes to motivation? Is there something that you are putting aside, some work that you just can't get to on a regular daily basis? What are you not showing up to? Does it have to do with a lack of motivation? And maybe, does it have to do with you not doing the work in the first place? Please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to chat with you a bit on this. Till next time, bye. The Jiggly Beard. I really do not know what state I am in. This is going to be an awful video. It's not the oolong tea. I just started drinking that. Clearly I need more tea. Ugh. Things that make you less motivated. That sounds lame. Let's redo that.